Hello, everyone. Welcome back into the Sports Stove Draft Show on the Sports Stove Media Network, presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. Join the flavor revolution at righteousfelon.com. Use the promo code STOVE15. You'll get 15% off your purchase each and every time. Well, hey, you're watching, so let's go ahead and hit that subscribe button, all right? You see it down there on YouTube? We would really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to us on the Sports Stove Football Show podcast, make sure you follow us wherever you're tuning in as well. And go ahead and jump on your phone, get on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, search up at Sports Stove, and give us a follow. We greatly appreciate that. We had a new hat added to the background. Up here, you can see behind me the Tennessee hat. That is autographed by Blake Howard, the long snapper at Tennessee. I sure appreciate that being sent to us, and excited about his season ahead at Tennessee after his time at Eastern Kentucky University. And so thanks for that, Blake. We appreciate it. All right, let's get into safeties today, because I think the safety conversation has gone insane here recently. And it's like, well, we know who's going first in the draft in Fernando Mendoza, so we have to find something else to talk about. So now we're arguing about Arvell Reese and David Bailey and Reuben Bain, and we're arguing about offensive linemen, and are they actually good enough to be taken in the first 10 picks, and all these other arguments that are going through. And what we're seeing is this promotion of the safety position in the first round. I'm hearing Caleb Downs. Dillon Thieneman is going to jump into the top 20, I saw on social media. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is going to be a top 12 draft pick this year. That's insane. All right. Absolutely insane. And so today we're going to give you our rankings at the safety position, and we'll discuss about some of these players. We're going to cover 4 of these players today and kind of detailed breakdowns. And then we've got some others that we'll just throw out there for you as well. I have 8 safeties with third-round grades or higher. So I've got 1 safety with a first-round grade. That's Caleb Downs. I still think he's a top 10 draft pick, but I'm starting to wonder if maybe teams have decided safety is just not that spot for them, and maybe we see Caleb Downs drop down to maybe even like 15, somewhere in that range. Would not totally surprise me. And the more I look at this class, I think he's worthy of a top 10 pick. I think when you look at everything, though, stranger things have happened, right? So Caleb Downs is the only safety I have with a first-round draft grade. I have 3 safeties with a second-round draft grade. And safety number 2 for me, and if you've listened to our past episodes, this won't be a surprise to you, but it's A.J. Haulcy. A.J. Haulcy is a guy that I am in love with at the safety position, and there are traits in some of these other guys that are better than his, but I just think A.J. Haulcy is the guy that you want if it's not Caleb Downs at safety on your team. Then Dillon Thieneman, who ended his career at Oregon after playing at Purdue. Stud athlete. We'll talk about him. We'll break him down here in a second. But I still see him as a second-round pick. And then Emmanuel McNeil-Warren out of Toledo. There is this love affair with him right now, and that's fine. I'm not against the kid, but I don't see it. I don't see first round. I don't see top 20. I do not get the infatuation with a safety from Toledo in the first round. So I will not put him there. Now, I'm not saying that we'll never mock him there if, as we lead up to the draft and all signs are pointing to him going there, that's fine, but I will not rank him in the first round. And so that's just the way I see. Incredible talent, second round guy. Then in the third round, I've got 4 guys as well, not necessarily in order, but Kamari Ramsey, Genesis Smith, excuse me, Bud Clark out of Texas Christian, and Zakee Wheatley out of Penn State. Clark is the riser. He's the guy, Senior Bowl, great outing. And I think he jumped into day 2 with his Senior Bowl outing. Zakee Wheatley is a guy that people are really there's a lot of people sleeping on him. those in the know are not, and there is a feeling that maybe he is top of the third round potential as well. Kamari Ramsey has the name, USC, all that kind of stuff. People say, oh, he's supposed to be great. I'm not seeing it there either. I've got him as a day 2 pick. I've got him as a third round grade. Some people want to bump him up, and I don't think that he should be. Genesis Smith is kind of the sneaky one there out of Arizona. I really like him, but he's a little later into my study. I didn't get on him as early, and so still working on him. So let's talk about the top 4 in my book. Caleb Downs, Dillon Thieneman, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, AJ Haulcy. Let's cover these 4 guys. Caleb Downs, we've all heard about it. Listen, great at Alabama. Came in from day 1, contributed, was awesome. This last season at Ohio State was not great. But the more that you can nitpick for sure and tear him down if you want to. And there are things to do that with, but ultimately this kid, he's got the IQ of the great safeties that have existed. Is he the best athlete? No, he's good. He's a good athlete. But his IQ is off the charts. He is very, very good tackler. And he's got good range. He's natural in the things that he does, good timing, good ball skills as well, can kind of play in some different range of systems. And again, super competitive. The speed has some people that kind of write him off a little bit. They say, well, he's ranked too high because he's not this elite athlete. But he's a very, very good athlete. He's just not going to be a 4.3 guy, maybe not even a 4.4 guy when it's all said and done there. He can be aggressive in a negative sense sometimes, where he'll overrun or overcommit maybe a little too early on some things. But again, he's young. He's going to grow, continue to develop. He's a phenomenal player. He is clearly a first-round safety. And when you put him in with all these other players in the draft, you have to look and realize he is one of the best players in this draft. And so how do you figure that out for the draft? As we do our mocks, we're going to battle with that because, at 2, it wouldn't be a horrible pick for the Jets. It's not going to happen, I don't think. And I think that you get anywhere in that top 10, outside of number 1, they could use a safety like Caleb Downs. But I see him going maybe 7, 8, 9, that kind of range right there in the first round. If he makes it to 10 with Cincinnati, they definitely need any kind of defensive help, and he will be the best player available at number 10 if he's still there. So I like him as a top 10 pick. Then let's go into Dillon Thieneman next. I will get to AJ Haulcy last. All right. So even though I have him ranked second, I want to hold off on him for a second. Dillon Thieneman, athlete of athletes as a safety, 6 foot 207 coming into the season. Early production, really good at Purdue. He is a deep safety. He is a coverage guy that can just read the quarterback and break on the throws. There's a lot to like about Dillon Thieneman. Excellent range. He has the great ball production as well. Strong recognition. He's got a good IQ also, which you're talking about with Downs. So I really like Thieneman. I think that there are some limitations. I think that he is good, but not great in coverage against tight ends. And as a safety, with that kind of athleticism, you'd like him to be a little bit better than he is. He's not long. His size is fine, but he's not long. And again, when you're a defender defending passes, you'd like to have some length on there too. So I don't necessarily love that about him either. Good production in college. He should start from day 1 wherever he goes. I just don't see the first round on him. So I really like him, and I hate, sounding negative on him. I really, really like Dillon Thieneman, but he's a day 2 guy for me. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren has just exploded onto the scene. Versatile, really good size. He's a 6'1", 200, or maybe even a little bigger than that now. Hybrid, can cover, can tackle, very physical tackler, comfortable against the bigger targets that he would have to face as well. excuse me, he can have a little bit of flexibility, can come down into the nickel, things like that as well. The deep speed is not necessarily there, and I think that his play recognition struggles, and this is why I don't see him in the first round. He has good IQ, but he's not reading some of these things as well as these other safeties. So there has to be some consistency build up with him. I like him, but not nearly as much as everyone else seems to like him. He's a second rounder. That's the grade I have on him. But there are things about him that worry me. If I was a team that is in need of a safety, like I have to get a starter for sure, that one would scare me a bit. If it's where I have two, and maybe one of them's a solid vet, that's been fine, but not great, and just need some competition there and some special teams help and things like that, then I really like Emmanuel McNeil-Warren in that situation. But if you are desperate for a safety and you take him, I think you're asking yourself for trouble early in his career. I think he can develop into it, but early in his career, I think there's going to be struggles there. So I have him as safety number 4 on my list because of that. All right, lastly, then, let's talk about A.J. Haulcy. LSU safety, fast, he's physical, he's attacking, he is so stinking good. He breaks on throws in front of him, great in zone where he can sit back and watch and then attack downhill on those things. He plays with urgency, he's aggressive, good ball production, a very physical, and I know we love this term, high motor kind of guy. He is so competitive. He struggles a little bit with some of the deeper coverages, and because, like Caleb Downs, because of his aggressiveness, sometimes he wrong angle in his aggression and could miss a play because of that as well. Not as big as some of these other guys, but to me, AJ Haulcy is a clear fit. Safety from day one, come in round 2 and make a massive difference for a team. He is gonna rob the offense of some stuff. He is gonna be great in the box. All these things. AJ Haulcy is him, in my opinion. So I got Caleb Downs at 1, first rounder. AJ Haulcy and Dillon Thieneman very, very close in the second round, and then Emmanuel McNeil-Warren as I think should be a later second round pick. Personally, it sounds like he's going to go way higher than that. I just think it's a mistake in most cases there. Then you've got the other guys that would be day 2, maybe even into day 3, round 3 into round 4 guys. Again, Kamari Ramsey, I'm just not as high on him as some, but I really like Genesis Smith out of Arizona. I really like Bud Clark out of TCU, and I really like Zakee Wheatley out of Penn State. Those are all guys that if teams hold off in the first couple of rounds but still need a safety, I don't think you can miss with those guys. And I think those are guys that'll be great as, third safeties in their rookie year and then into a starting safety into their sophomore season. So lots to like about the safety group. It's not the sexiest position to pick for sure. Caleb Downs is the only clear-cut first rounder in my book. And I just love these other guys. Dillon Thieneman and AJ Haulcy. I really, really like them. I think they're kind of can't miss prospects as well, just with a few areas of development that needs to happen. But hey, they're going to be rookies, and so that's okay. They're allowed to develop. It's how it's supposed to work a little bit. So that's how I have them ranked. Give me your thoughts. How do you feel about Caleb Downs? Do you see him as a top 10 pick? Are you saying, what, safety in the top 10? You're crazy. Do you say, hey, I don't see it with Caleb Downs? There's a lot of people out there right now trying to be the anti-Caleb Downs people, which you're allowed to be. You're allowed to your opinion. As my dad always taught me, you're allowed to be wrong. So Caleb Downs there in the first round. And then I'd love to get your thoughts. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, sprang onto the scene afterwards. Nobody really talked about him until the end of the season. And now it's like he might be a first rounder. I don't see it. Do you see it? I'd like to know that. And then your thoughts on Thieneman, Haulcy, Ramsey, Smith, Clark, Wheatley, or anybody else that you think I left off as a day 1 or 2 safety draft pick in the 2026 draft. All right, that's it for safeties. Listen, we've covered running backs, receivers, and cornerbacks in recent episodes last week, so make sure you go back and tune into those. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube so you do not miss anything. Make sure you follow us on socials at Sports Stove. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And don't forget about our wonderful sponsors, Righteous Felon Jerky at righteousfelon.com. Find your new favorite flavor. And there at righteousfelon.com, use the promo code STOVE15. You'll get 15% off your purchase. All right, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with more rankings in the coming days. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and let's get ready for the NFL Draft.